This is a full tour of Disney's Contemporary Resort. When I first visited Walt Disney World in 1999, I remember vividly taking the ferry across Seven Seas Lagoon to go to Magic Kingdom and looking across and seeing the Contemporary Resort. And as a kid, I was obsessed. I loved the design, the architecture, and I just wanted to stay there as a kid. Fast forward to 2025, Jenna and I are both staying here for the first time. Jenna is here on a travel agent conference, so while she's in conference today, I'm going to take you on a full tour of all the public spaces at one of Disney's most iconic resorts here at Walt Disney World. Let's go take a look around. Disney's Contemporary Resort opened with the rest of Walt Disney World on October 1st, 1971, alongside the Magic Kingdom and Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. So this property has been here for over 50 years and is an original piece of Walt Disney World. The Contemporary Resort is in the Magic Kingdom Resort area and is most famous for being on the monorail loop alongside the Polynesian Resort, as well as Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The Wilderness Lodge is also a Magic Kingdom area resort, however, that does not have a monorail stop. At Disney's Contemporary Resort, there are two different areas. We are looking at the most iconic part of the resort, which is the main building. This, as well as the South Wing, houses 633 total guest rooms. There is also Bay Lake Tower, which is the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC area of the resort, and that tower houses 428 DVC villas. But getting started with the tour, we are here at the main lobby entrance of the Contemporary. So when you arrive here via car or lift or other mode of transportation from the airport or wherever you're coming from, this is where you'll be dropped off and greeted by the lovely Disney cast members. And before we head inside, we're actually going to go to the left here and take you over to the bus stop. Having access to on-site Walt Disney World transportation is a significant perk of staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. We'll be going through a full list of all the benefits and perks for staying on site at Walt Disney World. But in short, while we're here, we'll give you a quick overview of the transportation at the Contemporary Resort. So as I mentioned previously, you could see right above the bus stop are the monorail tracks. One of the most famous features, if not the most famous feature of the Contemporary, is the fact that the monorail drives right through it. So that's just a really cool design feature overall. The Walt Disney World monorail system includes 3 lines. There is the Epcot line, the Resort Local line, as well as the Magic Kingdom Express line. The Resort Local line and the Magic Kingdom Express line are both here in the Magic Kingdom area, and they both start and end at the Transportation and Ticket Center, or TTC. The Resort Local line travels clockwise around the Magic Kingdom Resort Loop, and the Express line travels counterclockwise. The Express line runs only between the Magic Kingdom and the TTC, and the Resort Local line starts and stops at the TTC, but then goes to all of the other resorts along the loop. So from the TTC, it'll go to the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary, and then back to the TTC. If you want to take the monorail from the Contemporary to Epcot, you could take the Resort Local line to the Transportation Ticket Center and then transfer to the Epcot line. Another way to get to Magic Kingdom from the Contemporary, the resort is actually within walking distance. If you leave from the bus station here, it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk, depending on what pace you walk at. And they do have a security checkpoint along that path, so you could avoid the big lines directly in front of Magic Kingdom. So with that said, there is no bus access from the Contemporary to the Magic Kingdom or to Epcot. You can take a bus, as you see here, to Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney's Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, as well as the 2 water parks here at Walt Disney World, Disney's Typhoon Lagoon and Disney's Blizzard Beach. There are also water taxis here at Walt Disney World, and specifically from the Contemporary, you can take a water taxi to the Wilderness Lodge, as well as Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. The Contemporary Resort is one of 19 resort hotels here at Walt Disney World. There's also Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, which technically counts as the 20th. And between those 19 properties, there are over 23,000 rooms, 3,600 DVC villas, and over 500,000 square feet of conference and convention meeting space. That just gives you an idea of the size and scale of Walt Disney World, in addition to the 4 theme parks, the 2 water parks, and Disney Springs, and everything else the resort has to offer. Now, as we head inside, let's talk about some of the different resort categories here at Walt Disney World. There are 3 categories, and that is value, moderate, and deluxe. Disney's Contemporary Resort is in the deluxe category of resort, and those are the quote-unquote top-tier, most luxurious resorts. At Walt Disney World, the deluxe resorts include Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, Disney's Old Key West Resort, Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, Disney's Beach Club Resort, Disney's Yacht Club Resort, Disney's Boardwalk Inn, Disney's Riviera Resort, Disney's Contemporary Resort, Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, as well as Disney's Wilderness Lodge. For the moderate resorts, there is Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, as well as Disney's Port Orleans Resort, which includes the French Quarter and Riverside. And then for Disney's value resorts, you have the All-Star Movies Resort, the All-Star Music Resort, the All-Star Sports Resort, the Art of Animation Resort, as well as the Pop Century Resort. Now, with that overview, we will head inside and show you what a deluxe resort at Walt Disney World offers. This is the main lobby and check-in area of the Contemporary Resort. When you first walk in, bell services is on your left. So this is where, if you are arriving and your room isn't ready yet and you want to head to the parks, you can leave your bags with bell services and pick them up when you're ready to head to your room. And if you do have any packages delivered to the resort prior to your vacation, they will be dropped off at Bell Services, and that's where you can also pick them up. Directly next to Bell Services is the front desk, also your check-in area, guest services, whatever you would like to call it. So when you come to check in, if you choose not to do your mobile check-in, you can come here and speak to one of the cast members. This is also where you can come and answer any questions. And as you can see, the overall vibe of the Contemporary is this very Art Deco 60s, mid-century inspired design, which is mainly influenced by the era that the Contemporary Resort opened in, which is the early 1970s. This lobby area was recently redone a couple years ago, adding some of this artwork. And then heading to the right here in the main lobby, you can head outside to the convention center. That is actually where Jenna is right now for her travel agent conference. The Contemporary, as well as some other Walt Disney World resorts, are well known for being convention spaces. Many companies and organizations go to Orlando for conferences because of how many convention spaces they do have, but Walt Disney World is one of the premier areas. And then turning back to the left here, you have Contemporary Grounds, which is the in-lobby, on-resort coffee bar. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that Jenna and I love our Joffrey Shaken Jamaican Cold Brew. They do have that on tap here, so it's been great to stay here and take a quick walk to get your Shaken Jamaican. Now, directly across from the front desk, you do have this very nice seating area with the monorail Art Deco inspired artwork, which I was talking about before. This was a really great addition to the lobby when they redid it a couple of years ago. And then turning back around, you could see just the size of the seating area, as well as all of the front desk space. Right next to the monorail artwork, you do have another seating area with a TV and some chairs for kids. While they wait for mom and dad to check in, they can sit here, watch some Disney movies or cartoons, and just enjoy getting their vacation started. A lot of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels have this in their lobby. It's a great reminder of all the Disney characters you know and love, and the kids just get a kick out of it when they're getting a start to their Disney vacation. Next to the front desk, you also have this mid-century living room or dining room inspired feel. Love the thematic light work above the table and chairs and the artwork on the wall. And then you have a similar seating area right next to that as well. Moving on from the main portion of the main lobby, we're coming to our first restaurant here at the Contemporary Resort, which is Steakhouse 71. As you can tell by the name, Steakhouse 71 is a steakhouse that is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We won't include the hours in this video just because Walt Disney World restaurant hours do change fairly frequently depending on time of year, crowd levels, and a bunch of other factors. Jen and I have eaten here a number of times. One of their standout dishes is the bacon and eggs appetizer. If you don't know about it, when you get a chance to eat here, check those out. It's a really great dish. And Steakhouse 71's name is inspired by Walt Disney World's opening year, 1971. And I love in the main entrance area here how they have all of this 60s and 70s artwork. This is a picture of Walt himself talking about the Florida Project, which was the original name to Walt Disney World. Here you have Walt's brother Roy seeing one of the monorail tracks being delivered. You also have some photos of Walt's original Imagineers. Up there at the top you have Mark Davis looking over a model for what looks to be It's a Small World. Then down here you have the legendary John Hench looking over a model of what looks to be Liberty Square. Leaving Steakhouse 71, in the back part of the lobby you do have restrooms, and then another great piece of artwork showing the actual construction of the Contemporary Resort. This is taken from the Bay Lake side of the resort, so what you see in the background there is Seven Seas Lagoon before the Grand Floridian was even constructed. And from there, we will head outside and continue along our tour. So in talking about Bay Lake and the Seven Seas Lagoon, Disney's Contemporary Resort sits right in the middle of them. And so with that, you do have access to a number of different boats at Walt Disney World. So they are available for rental, and the marina is out here in this section of the resort. So here in the back of the resort, you can get a look at its iconic main tower. This tower is 14 stories tall and houses about 383 of the 655 total guest rooms at the resort, not including the DVC villas. Speaking of the DVC villas, a few years back, Disney did connect the main building of the Contemporary with Bay Lake Tower, which is there on the right, by this skyway bridge. So you can walk from one building to another without having to go down to the ground level, which is a great convenience. You do have some nice shaded seating areas out here, and we also have a really nice Mickey-shaped flower bed here, and another Mickey, very Art Deco art feature, which is a selfie spot. So you obviously see Mickey sitting on his silhouette. They did add a little stand here where you could place your camera or your phone, and you could get that picture taken as a memory of your Disney vacation. And if you were interested in planning a Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, or Disneyland vacation, I did mention Jenna earlier in this video. Jenna, if you don't know, is my wife, and she is the other half of a couple travelers, and she is a travel agent here at her annual conference. It is completely free to work with a travel agent. You pay the same price that you would if you were to work with Disney directly, but you get all the great benefits and resources of working with somebody who knows all the ins and outs of planning a Disney vacation, from the dining plans to the lightning lanes, to the travel tune from the airport, to the different resort options, to park tickets, etc. They are a great resource. In addition to planning your Disney vacation, Jenna can also help you plan your cruise vacation, be it for Royal Caribbean or NCL or Celebrity. And if you are interested in going to an all-inclusive resort, we have a number of Sandals and Secrets videos out on the channel now. So if you are interested in a free, no obligation vacation planning quote from Jenna, her contact information is in the video description below. Now moving on with our tour, we have an oversized game of checkers here, which is a fun thing to play as a family. And then next to this, you can get a look at a number of the recreation activities that the resort offers. We'll go into, again, the specific perks and benefits of staying at a Walt Disney World resort at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But here's a quick look of some of the resort activities. So Movies Under the Stars is a great thing that the Walt Disney World resorts offer. You can see a good selection of the Disney movies that are going to be playing. And then they also do a mosaics class, which is pretty cool. Like all of the Walt Disney World resort hotels, the property and overall grounds are really well maintained. The landscaping and the gardening is really beautiful. And then past all those beautiful flower beds, we're coming up here on the main pool area. You can see here there is a splash pad for kids with a bunch of water features and fountains for them to play in. and there is a water slide directly behind that. And then walking to the left here is one of the main entrance areas to the pool. There is another one on the other side a little bit closer to the resort itself. As you can see, plenty of chairs. There are also some cabanas, and if this resort is similar to the other Disney resort hotels, those cabanas are available for rent. This is not the largest pool area of any of the Walt Disney World resorts. That title is undoubtedly held by Stormalong Bay at the Yacht and Beach Club. That was my family's favorite resort when we were growing up. So very lucky to have spent many days in that Stormalong Bay pool area. If you ever have the opportunity, check it out. It's a really amazing piece of Walt Disney World. Leaving the pool area and the splash pad, we are coming up to this building over here, which has some restrooms, as well as the sandbar, which is the pool bar. As you would expect to see at any Disney pool bar, you have your pretty standard lunch offerings, so your cheeseburgers, your hot dogs, your Mediterranean salads, chicken quesadillas, a selection of soft drinks, water, as well as your Mickey-shaped ice creams. Then you have some smaller snacks, some chips and queso, a fruit cup, French fries, pasta salad, watermelon salad, and then you can get some alcoholic beverages here as well. Some beers, some hard cider, and some hard seltzer. Here on the other side, you have the full menu for some pool cocktails. Everything from a margarita, blueberry lemonade, pina colada. Banana Cabana is a great drink. We have that all the time at the bar at Caribbean Beach, and they have it here at the Contemporary as well. And then on the other side of the sandbar, we have the temporary location for the Contemporary Resort Community Hall. This is normally a location that's in the lobby of Bay Lake Tower, but while that area is being renovated, the nice cast member inside showed me around this spot. So this is open for kids. Anybody under the age of 12 needs to be accompanied by an adult ages 18 years or older. But as you can see, they have some arts and crafts inside. They have a TV playing movies with Encanto going right now. You have some free play arcade games, and they also have a list of the full resort recreation activities. This location is temporary as of March 2025, so depending on when you're watching this video and coming on your Walt Disney World vacation, this location could be back in the main lobby of Bay Lake Tower, but great to see that Disney offers this at the Contemporary. And while on the topic of recreation, all Walt Disney World resort hotels, regardless of level, do an amazing job with recreation. Obviously, with Disney being the hallmark of family vacations, you have some really great cast members making sure everybody has a great time. So they're out there playing games by the pool, doing Disney trivia, holding dance classes. So there's a lot of really organized events that those recreation cast members put on. Just an example of some of them here at the resort. We obviously saw the checkers before. You have cornhole and Connect Four yard games out here, and here's the Lakeside Landing sign, which is the name of the overall recreation area. And so for the full list of resort activities, like I said before, you do have those cabanas available for rental. You have the motorized boat rentals, which we'll talk about in a second. You have poolside activities, you have Mickey tie-dye, you have a campfire, beats on the bay, a silent disco, movies under the stars. We talked about the mosaics as well. And then in terms of family wellness, there is the Olympiad Fitness Center, the sports courts, pickleball courts, and then Disney Fit yoga classes. And then right across the path here, you have the Boat Nook. As I mentioned before, Disney's Contemporary Resort is between Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake. It is directly on the shores of Bay Lake, as you can see right here. So if you do want to take any of these boats out for a spin, the Boat Nook right here is where they are available for rent. Disney does offer some cruises as well, so if you want to take the fireworks cruise at night to watch Happily Ever After from Seven Seas Lagoon, you see the details of that here. You also have guided bass fishing excursions, and then those Sun Tracker pontoon boats, like I said before, are available for rental. $49 per 30 minutes for a 10 guest maximum, and you must be at least 18 years or old to operate the boat. So there you can see the Boat Nook and Bay Lake Tower, as well as the pontoon boats and the other dock here at the resort. Moving along this nice waterfront patio area, plenty of tables and chairs and other seating. we are coming here to another pool area. Jenna and I were at the pool yesterday and we didn't even know this was here, so stumbling upon it now, this is beautiful. So from the outdoor marina and recreation area, we're going to head back inside and show you the rest of the contemporary resort. So here's another look at where we were. The sandbar, the marina, and the recreation area are all down there. Here's a look at the pool area, and we're going to head back inside the main lobby of the main tower of the contemporary resort. Disney Resort hotels also have really great doormats. I love this one of the contemporary. You could obviously see its iconic structure with the monorail going through it. So here on the second floor, this is known as the Americas level. Really the only thing on this level is the banquet and meeting rooms of the convention center, but you also do have the check-in desk for California Grill. California Grill is another restaurant here at the Contemporary Resort. It is on the top level and it is a signature dining experience here at Walt Disney World. Signature dining is some of the fancier dining you can have here on property. It obviously is more expensive because of that, but you get incredible views from this restaurant being at the top level of the Contemporary Resort. What the restaurant also does is it has a terrace outside where you have amazing views of the Magic Kingdom. So if you were lucky enough to snag a dinner reservation at night while Happily Ever After is going on, you can watch the nighttime Magic Kingdom show from California Grill with the actual soundtrack of the show piped into the restaurant. California Grill is open for dinner only and you do need a reservation. However, if you don't have a reservation and still want to experience the restaurant and the views from up there, there is the California Grill Lounge. That lounge is open in the evening while we're staying here. It's open every day from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and you do have a full bar up there in addition to the lounge menu. Basically, the lounge menu is a selection of items that are on the main California Grill menu that are a little bit more casual to eat in a lounge setting. So if you do have a California Grill dining reservation, you will check in here and then take the elevator up to the top floor. Moving on with our tour, you do get a view of some of the ballrooms and other convention spaces on the second floor. And from here, we're going to head up to level 4, which is the Grand Canyon Concourse. So this does skip level 3. So the public areas of the main tower are levels 1, 2, and 4. And then every floor above that are guest rooms with, again, California Grill being the top level. So here we are in arguably the most iconic part of the Contemporary Resort. This is the Grand Canyon Concourse. So at Disney's Contemporary Resort, this is where you have all of your main retail and dining areas. It is pretty crowded in here right now. We are here in late morning on a Saturday, so a lot of families checking in and out. So I will take us through this area and insert B-roll along the way when we're filming in places that might just be a little too crowded. But to start, I want to acknowledge the amazing mosaic artwork here in the Grand Canyon Concourse. This artwork is done by no other than Disney legend Mary Blair. Mary Blair was a famous Imagineer and previously cartoonist who worked very closely with Walt Disney, and her artwork inspired movies such as Cinderella, Peter Pan, and Alice in Wonderland. And her designs and artwork and her artistic style went on to later inspire attractions such as It's a Small World. So truly a great piece of Disney history here in the Grand Canyon Concourse. Also here in the Grand Canyon Concourse, you have a caricature artist. My sisters and I have one of these from our first trip to Walt Disney World back in 1999. So it's great to see that Disney still does these. That artist is sitting right outside our first retail location here on the concourse, which is BVG. BVG is your typical Disney retail shop. So inside you have items from the Disney home line, you have Disney merchandise, apparel, your mini ears, your t-shirts, jackets, cups, anything like that, your Loungefly backpacks, Anything that you would really think of as a Disney souvenir is inside here in the BVG store. It is one of the largest gift shops, I think, out of all of the Disney Resort hotels. We have a tour of Disney's Polynesian Village Resort out on the channel now as well, and I thought that gift shop was large, but having come in here, this one really takes the cake in terms of its size. Continuing our walk here, you just get an idea of the size of the gift shop, and you get a look at the great floor-to-ceiling windows on either side of the Grand Canyon concourse. Here is the other entrance to the gift shop. And then moving on, the Mickey ears show the entrances of the Fantasia shop. So this is your less traditional merchandise shop. Inside they have Disney plush, Disney toys, and other more kid-friendly merchandise. So not so much the apparel and souvenirs, it's more so things that your kids would want as a souvenir from the vacation. So they also have some pins and lanyards and other things available inside as well. But love the theming of Fantasia and the Mickey ears on either side of the store. Directly across from Fantasia, you have the Fantasia Market. This is where you can get some food and beverage items. So soft drinks, milk, some other refrigerated items. Since you do have Bay Lake Tower here as a DVC property, a lot of guests will stay here for, a week or two at a time, and they might not eat out every meal, and they like to cook some of their meals for themselves. So it's nice to have a more convenient store style area at your resort. But inside you could also get your Disney candy, your Disney snacks, and some other items that are all Disney branded. Moving along from Fantasia Market and on the outside of the Fantasia gift shop, we're going to just get a great view of the size and scale of the Grand Canyon concourse. Again, all of the guest rooms are on the upper floors there. And then our next location here on the right is the game station. If I'm not mistaken, all Walt Disney World Resort hotels do have a game room. This one, much like the BVG gift shop, is pretty large for the size of this hotel. Again, there are 655 guest rooms and 428 villas in the Bay Lake Tower. So with that, you do need a pretty sizable game room. So the Grand Canyon concourse is really split in half by the Mary Blair mural as well as the elevator bay. So we just saw the, call it, retail area on one half. In here on the other half is where you have all of your dining. So you can see by the three signs here, you have Outer Rim, Chef Mickey's, and the Contempo Cafe. The Outer Rim is your traditional bar area. I didn't mention before, but there is a bar inside of Steakhouse 71, so you can actually go there if you don't have a reservation and get some food. And there also is a lounge menu as well. So that is downstairs in Steakhouse 71. But here at the Outer Rim, this is just more of your traditional bar, so your late night spot if you want to grab a cocktail. Next, we have Chef Mickey. Chef Mickey's is your character dining here at Disney's Contemporary Resort. This is a buffet style restaurant open for breakfast and dinner, where you get to meet some of the great Disney characters, including Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. At least I believe those are the four that were here when we ate here a number of years ago, but regardless, they still have all of the characters coming around saying hi to you at your table while you enjoy your food. This is one of the more popular restaurants at Walt Disney World, so highly recommend getting a reservation here. There is a walk-up list available, however, that walk-up list will book up very quickly. For context, right now, it's a little before noon on a Saturday, and the walk-up list for the day is already at capacity. And then last but not least, here in this dining section, you have the Contempo Cafe. This is the quick service dining location at Disney's Contemporary Resort, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can see inside there is a traditional market where you can get some beverages, some fruit, and some other items, and then you can order your more traditional entrees. I had for breakfast this morning a really good potato barrel bowl. That's what Disney calls tater tots. I did have a quick lunch here yesterday as well. The food wasn't too bad, especially in terms of Disney quick service. You also have your soft drink stations, some coffee and tea available. And like most Disney dining locations around Walt Disney World, the Contempo Cafe does offer mobile order, so if you do not want to wait in line, I highly recommend you utilize that, especially if you're looking to eat during some of the more popular meal times. So that's a look at the Contemporary Resort, all of the public spaces, but as promised earlier in the video, we're now going to go through all of the perks and benefits of staying on site at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. The first perk is that as a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guest, you do have early theme park entry 30 minutes prior to the public opening hours at every theme park every day of the week. So for example, if Magic Kingdom opens at 8 a.m., Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests are able to enter the park at as early as 7:30 a.m. And obviously to do that, you do need to have a valid park admission ticket. A special deal Disney is running for 2025 is on your check-in day of your vacation, you do have complimentary access to one of the Walt Disney World water parks, so either Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach. I'm sure there are some details in fine print with that, so be sure to check out the Walt Disney World website for more information. And returning to Walt Disney World fairly recently is the Disney Dining Plan. If you don't know, the Disney Dining Plan is basically a way for you to prepay for your meals while you're on a Disney vacation. There are a bunch of different levels to it that include snack credits and meal credits. All the details are on the Walt Disney World website, but just another reason to work with a travel agent to help you navigate all those details and find the specific dining package or the specific vacation offering that works for you and your family. Like we said at the start of the video, Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests also have access to the Walt Disney World transportation network, so the buses, the watercraft, the monorail, the Skyliner, etc. That is all complimentary to you as a guest at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. And as a resort guest, you can purchase your Magic Bands at a special pre-arrival price. So basically, discounted prices offered to guests if they want to purchase their Magic Band before their vacation, and you end up paying less than if you were to purchase it when you're on site. Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests can also purchase their Lightning Lane passes up to 7 days in advance of their vacation. And you can purchase those multi-pass and single-pass Lightning Lanes for the entirety of your stay for up to 14 days. There are many more details that go along with that in terms of the tiers of Lightning Lanes and how the whole Lightning Lane system works. So again, be sure to work with a travel agent or check out the Walt Disney World website for more information. And a big part of a Disney vacation is getting to experience all of the great dining that is available here at the resort. Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests can make their dining reservations up to 60 days in advance of their vacation for up to a 10-day stay. So the main benefit here as a resort hotel guest is you get to make the reservations for the entirety of your stay, as opposed to any other guests get to make reservations for 60 days in advance. So if your vacation starts on a Saturday and you want to make a dining reservation for Wednesday, you can do that on Saturday. For somebody else who wants to make a reservation for that same Wednesday, they would have to wait till 60 days in advance of that Wednesday in order to make that reservation. So you do get a little bit of an upper hand there. And it goes without saying, but another great perk of staying on site at Walt Disney World is you get the amazing Disney service by the cast members. They are obviously here working hard to make sure you have an unforgettable vacation, and you just can't beat that level of service that Disney offers. So that is a full tour and a look at all of the perks and benefits of staying at Disney's Contemporary Resort. We absolutely love this property. Coming out next to the channel is a full room tour of the room that we stayed at here, so be sure to subscribe and check that out. And again, if you are interested in planning your Disney vacation, Jenna's contact information, if you would like the help of a travel agent, is in the video description below. But that's everything we have for you today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media at A Couple Travelers. And until next time, keep traveling.